Welcome back to the Great Lakes Esports Conference. Right now we are going to be getting into draft for the lower bracket semifinal, and we've already gotten halfway through it. On the side of SXU, we're banning Rek'Sai, Mel. They were watching those games earlier, banning out the Mel from MU and Renekton. So some fresh knowledge influencing their bans. On the side of MU, we've banned out Aurora, Milio, and Orianna. We've got the Jhin first pick from MU, responded with Ashe, Nautilus. I'm liking that bot lane for SXU. And it looks like we're going to get the Leona locked in here, and we've been seeing that for both these matches. So we know the cards down here for the bot lane matchup. I'm very curious to see how this Ashe Nautilus is going to be able to do in that, because Leona has just been very reliable for MU.
Yeah, no, I definitely think if you see Nautilus, I hate the hooks, so I love it that they're picking Leona, because then you could just go straight onto the Ashe.
Yep.
So it definitely isn't. It's not great for Nautilus.
Yep. Then we got the Silas pick from MU. They had it picked against them twice in the beginning.
Saw it a lot, and they're just like, let's do it.
Yeah, you know, let's do it ourselves. Let's see how we can perform on it. I'm thinking the Ashe Arrow is great to steal for Silas.
Oh, yeah.
Even the Nautilus knockup isn't bad. Viego coming out for SXU.
No, I did see SXU pull out of Viego earlier against Indiana Tech, so I'm excited to see Viego again.
Yeah. So as we're getting into the ban here, it's looking like jungle's still open. Do we think we're going to be like barreling into that, or do we think we might also try to pinch off that top laner a little bit?
I don't think they're going to focus the jungler. Maybe.
We've got the Pantheon.
Yeah. We'll see. They definitely are probably looking at what was recently played, and they'll go by that.
Well, and then on the side of SXU, their top and mid are still open, so I imagine that MU might want to keep banning out the mid. Got the Lissandra ban coming through. And then over on the side of SXU, got one more ban. I really kind of want to see this. I mean, we saw the Croc both times, so I don't know what else you would ban from MU yet. Yeah. I haven't been able to look at the match history. So I imagine, the Wukong ban against Armstrong, probably a good call. And then to finish it off here over on MU, we're going to be having the Talia ban. So now, if you're SXU, you still got your solo laners up. What do you think the approach is here? You got the Rise being hovered.
Now, with Rise, I would say Nautilus is their only frontline right now. Viego does not like to be frontline, so I think they're going to need some tankier engage maybe for top side.
Okay, Cassiopeia as a response would be pretty vicious.
I love a good cast player.
Oh, yeah. Well, then especially that can, really just shut down, the engage potential of Viego or Nautilus by, keeping them planted. And, they are going to lock in the Cassiopeia. I'm guessing they were taking the extra time to maybe think out, all right, who do we want to give our top laner?
Cassiopeia's...
Or no, wait. Is that going to be Cass?
No, that's mid. Oh,
wait.
Silas jungle.
Is this a Silas jungle?
The last buffs to jungle Silas did come through in the last few months, and people have said it doesn't feel like you just have to go around ganking anymore. You actually can sustain in the jungle.
We've got Volibear top over on the side of SXU, so it's clear to me. I don't know. I'm not sure where some of these champions are going to go on the side of MU, because I've heard of cast top. It's very rare. Yeah, I've heard of it.
It was really good about a year ago.
I would imagine it's Scion top, but Scion jungle is also a thing. So, these three solo champs, we're going to have to wait till we load on there.
Well, he was playing Renekton last game, so Scion, maybe
pretty
roughly
neighboring.
The same skill set. Volibear is interesting, though. We'll see. I've never actually played this matchup. So
I imagine if it is Volibear and Scion, it's going to be a very stalemate top lane. They just are both pretty big champions unless you go the AP Volibear, but I don't expect you are if you've already got the Rise. Do we have a tank
Scion, or do we have the...
Lethality Scion?
Yeah. Which one? I mean, Lethality might...
Hey, you never know. It could be Inting Scion,
I would love to see that pulled out.
Oh, my gosh.
This would be hilarious.
That would be maybe just a little bit criminal, but hey, no holds barred when you're in the lower bracket. You just got to throw out every strat.
I do believe Scion was an OP top laner about a month or two ago.
For sure.
People were talking about it.
I mean, Scion's always just been kind of reliable because he's a great damage sponge. Especially MU has really been a lot of what I think they are able to achieve is through their team fights. Every comp they have, like even this one, is good for team fights. You have the Leona engage, and then someone in the hands of Armstrong for the jungle to like follow up with that, and then any one of them can just go ahead and like
Viego
deal
can't
damage.
passive Scion, right? Like it's much longer of. You can't do it when he actually dies. You have to wait until his passive
really?
dies, right?
I don't know.
It,
that would be pretty staggered. That's a mechanic I'm not fully sure of. It would be pretty rough, but we'll have to find
curious.
out.
I mean,
Maybe a gank goes the way of SXU, and we'll learn in that moment.
Yeah.
But I will say, going back to the silence, you always want to look at what ults are available to him. And so the Crystal Arrow from the Ashe is going to be good. You've got the
Nautilus ult.
Nautilus knockup is pretty solid. I think the Ryze ult would be good tactically.
It's so hard if you're not naming Ryze to use that ability, right? So I doubt that's the one he's going to pull unless he really has a big brain and Armstrong Boys does.
Now SXU, they've got everyone running down the bot lane. So it's looking like they might be getting up to some...
We're not seeing a boring 5-point right now.
Not being a boring 5-point. Now my question is, so they got the ward going forward. Are they going to sneak up through the mid? Jhin is playing safe. I think they just got some advanced vision, and they might reset and go back to their respective locations here. But, imagine if that Jhin was just blown up in the lane. That would have been pretty spicy and a great start off for SXU. But they are going back to their standard points, and it's looking like Manchester is broaching into the jungle, just getting some vision. Not sure, not realizing that they could have gotten themselves set up in there.
So it looks like both junglers will be starting on the top side, pathing down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, it's not something I'm surprised by given the just who they have up top. It looks like maybe, I don't know if there's a display difference, but I'm thinking there's a lane swap that happened here between 2B and what you got. Not very sure, but...
Oh, they didn't get an LCS order, probably.
There we go. And now it's just swapped back to normal, so it's not a lane swap. It was just a display swap. But pretty slow in the top lane. So I expect a lot of our action is going to be bot-focused, maybe in the mid lane. Especially because, like I said, these are just going to be two kind of like big tanks, just kind of like meatballs throwing hands at each other until one of them is at 50% HP and going back and doing it again.
What do you think happens with Ryze ult and Cassiopeia's miasma?
So I don't think
they won't keep it, right?
Yeah, no, because
you'll still get out.
Yeah, because that's a blink, that's a teleport. So I think
can you flash out of it?
I think you can. I think you can flash. I know it just roots dashes. I mean, I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But using the Volibear shield to poke out the Scion, just keep that wave pushed up.
And Ash backed already just to get that slight attack speed advantage. So we'll see if that works. But they are in a freeze at the tower. So with both teams pathing bottom with their junglers, we might see an early fight here.
We're seeing a good engage from the Volibear. Oh my gosh, the Scion being brought very, very low. Just really using that shield very well, like predicting, like placing it and then pushing Scion into it.
Volibear does have that surprise damage too. You really don't think he's going to kill you at 33%, but he just does.
But he can just get it off, and then especially if it's a prolonged fight, I do think he has a bit of an advantage over Scion here because Scion has a lot of health for him to steal back if he keeps getting those empowered W's off. Here on the bot lane, I do like the attack speed being brought onto the Ashe because one of the most oppressive things as an ADC is if you go up just a little bit too far against an Ashe, and she slows you down, and she just keeps chipping away at you, and she just keeps chipping away at you, and she now has a better ability to do that.
Yeah, and Leona does not have an escape, so definitely you gotta be careful. I do like that Armstrong Boys identified the big Star Crab.
We got 2B going in with a good combo. We got Harlow coming up, barely whiffing the W, not getting the stun. Armstrong Boys here to answer, but they're just going to turn all their attention onto the Cassiopeia with Ryze getting the first blood. Viego's going to take her over and slither away back under the turret and reset. Armstrong Boys sticking around, maybe thinking to get engaged, but instead he's just going to take this topside jungle if he can, at least get some extra vision.
St. Xavier coming out strong.
Yeah.
Very strong start. Looks like all lanes have slight advantages.
This Volibear, he just keeps going in against Admel, but he might have gone up too far as Armstrong Boys is here. Is he gonna? He's gonna flash, but he's not gonna be able to get in quite enough just to finish the job. And instead, Armstrong Boys is gonna get a kill onto the Volibear. Really good roaming from Armstrong Boys, getting ready to like protect his mid laners.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just would have recalled when he when he got vision. So good for him for knowing what to actually do.
Yeah. But now we got the support roaming in, and we got to engage onto Asanayuki, and the Ignite chipping down. Oh, and finished off by Rise. Really, really aggressive. So it seems like St. Xavier is trying to set up their mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, Cassiopeia used teleport to come right back to lane. They pulled their Nautilus, and brilliant play.
Yeah.
They're getting a Rise ahead starts to feel really bad. So hopefully they can get the scale him up nicely, but good lead to start.
Well, then right now we do have the Sky Drake open on the bot lane. We got a couple deep wards from St. Xavier on, in Manchester's jungle. I don't think, based on the map movements, that they're going to be able to capitalize off it quite yet, but at the very least, they're able to know where the jungler is not. And just Volibear just continuing to be pushed up against the Scion. So as we're seeing more players on the bot side of the map, I think we're going to be getting set up for maybe a little bit of a mini team fight here.
I'm hoping they're calling for dragons, so it'll be 4 and 4, so everyone's on this side of the map. I'd be interested to know if Rise is just going to shove right here and then go straight to dragon, or it looks like they're just going to take it, and it might be free.
Yeah,
Diego does dragon extremely fast.
Yeah, they're letting Diego solo it, just kind of keeping Ashe doing good on the 1v2, keeping them engaged, keeping them frozen in the mid lane, and then Nautilus just kind of floating to prevent anyone from getting in close. As up top, we have a bit more of the skirmish going on. This time, it looks like Scion is making his way towards Volibear's side, but the Drake does go over to SXU. They got Volibear engaging, but Armstrong Boys is here to punish him again. Losing the Drake, but getting a body on the top side. And this wave state is actually really, really good for Manchester, as they're going to be able to crash in. Use the rune passive to get that first plating off. We didn't see Armstrong.
Yeah.
Got the Realm Warp. I think they're going to try. They're definitely going to try to get the answer back, and they're probably going to do it. Do we see Armstrong Boys turn around? No, he's just going to keep on taking.
And another kill for Rise.
It's good to get those Field of Warfare. So that's got the one for the kills.
Okay, so that answered the question.
Yeah.
When he does die initially, Viego can immediately take him.
Yep. All right. So that would be a rough mechanic to deal with otherwise, but thankfully. We got the Cassiopeia and the Silas roaming in here. I think they're going to try to punish the return to lane on Rise, and they are able to engage on it. He just cannot get away, and they just tear him down. So really good response, kind of curbing the momentum of this Rise.
Armstrong Boys making a really big difference here, really early.
Yeah, really helping out his solo laners, like doing a phenomenal job, and keeping up the farm the whole time.
Yeah, still leading in farm. Stole the red buff.
Got the Void Grubs up right now, so these next few moments are going to be pretty important. It doesn't look like either jungler really wants to engage with the other yet. We got the support up here from SXU, so potentially...
Interesting, they all ran through that pink ward and did not take it.
Yeah, might not have seen it. Clearing the vision. Ooh, got the hook onto the wall. Right now they do have man advantage, so they might want to just turn onto the Void Grubs and get it as they can.
So good. They're trying to take both objectives in this early game. They'll at least get one of these grubs. I think they're not going to contest it.
Yeah. I mean,
so both objectives going over to SXU.
Yeah, SXU really. So like, even though we've got Armstrong Boys ganking for his solo laners, the movement from SXU on the map, they've like gotten these objectives, and I think that's been very, very good for them.
And Ashe has been sitting in a 2v1 lane. Well, I mean, is down by 14 farm, but all that XP is just getting funneled.
Yeah. I mean, like right now we don't see the level difference quite yet, but I imagine as we scale it might be like really, really good.
Or maybe she's just getting starved.
Maybe she's just getting starved because she can't approach the wave. It is scary as a solo ADC to try and approach a Leona,
Yeah.
especially because
A
like
level 6 Leona.
especially because you're rooted there, and so you got a long time where you're just sitting there that Jin can lock you up even further.
It does look like they are making a play on the bot side of the map. Cassie's roaming, probably warding the blue, but we'll find Viego.
Well, we got Volibear continuing to engage on Admel. Like, what you got just really has a lot of confidence here. And, like, again, placing the shield so good. Oh, and he's ulting the tower. He's going all in. I think he could not quite do enough damage to finish off Sion, but at least going to force him back and crash another wave and hopefully get his second plate. On the bot side, no plate quite happening yet.
Does he have demo as well?
Got the Drake coming up in a minute. And I imagine that MU is hungry for some camps now.
There's a few wards by Dragon. It looks like they may want to take this one. They got 5 wards in River and on the opposite side, so. Oh, but maybe a little too early. They're not defending them. Nautilus could go and sweep the entire vision that they just laid out.
Looks like his trinket's on cooldown and he
3
doesn't
wards.
have a sweeper. So,
That is a great ward score he's about to get.
well, unfortunately,
he
he's
doesn't
only
want
able
it.
to clear the one because he did have to use a vision bloom for that. Doesn't quite have the sweeper yet. I'm looking at this. The gold pretty even. Not really in favor of one.
That's not going to be good. No.
Oh. Ooh. Good job escaping for a short moment. Oh, responding with the crystal arrow, and now his team's coming to save him. So if he,
That was beautiful play.
yeah, Pimp Hamster really like breaking ankles there. And they're going in for the turret dive. I think the Leona all keeping them locked up. You guys want to protect that Viego right now, prevent him from getting curtain called, and they do a good job. It's almost like those empowered like 4th shot did nothing. So really, really good barrier, like wall of meat from SXU protecting their jungler. But he's got to get some health back as there's this Drake surely is going to be contested.
Yeah. Oh, nice grab on the Armstrong boys.
I mean, we lose the support, but we get the Drake. We
have a Leona.
We get the support, who's now in the hands of the jungler. We got another reset for Viego, so that's 2 and a Drake 4-1. But on the other side of the map, Sion was able to get a couple plays, but now we have. It looks like Rise is going to be TPing up there to prevent the push. So actually, absolutely wonderful micro and macro from SXU. Just starting all the way back with Ashe being able to like fend off what could have been a very dangerous push-up. And then his team homing down to defend him and then turning like, okay, like
Dodge
now
every skill shot.
dodge every skill shot. Now my team's here. We're going to engage. We're going to follow through. Push MU right out of the river. And even though it was a little dicey on the follow through under the turret, everyone got together, lined up real well, protected the Viego, and was able to just create like just really good placement to make this Drake theirs. So I'm really loving the fluidity of SXU right now.
Yeah, they're looking like they're well strategized. They're moving across the map good, but we might have another block
We
here.
got the Sion ult, we got the Volibear ult, and then we got the gank coming in from Armstrong
surely
boys.
doesn't
But
want
like,
this, right?
I mean, that's sustained. He's staying alive for quite some time, and his jungler was on his way, but he's just going to decide to keep on running. I don't know how well turning around will go for you. Oh, the long range Ashe arrow.
Did hit.
It hit, and I think it just kind of diffused the whole situation.
Turret plating.
Sent a message.
And say, hey, please stop. You don't need to do this. We're just going to go back to normal, all right? But
Oh, they got Cassiopeia at some point.
oh wow, in the midst of all that. I will say this, overall the play is still advantageous for Sion. He's able to crash the wave. And even though it's probably not going to finish off that turret, the next time he's able to get one up there, especially because turret plating is falling off right now, actually it might even be able to finish it if he can't. No, Volibear's going to clean up. Or if he just gets up there and breathes on it, that's a turret dead.
Yeah. Scion's in the position that a Scion wants to be.
Yes.
They've ignored it enough, and it will only start to devastate them if they continue to.
It looks like we're going to have Herald up here in 40 seconds. Everyone's kind of concentrated on the bot side of the map. I'm only seeing one deep ward from SXU on the top side, so both teams kind of need to establish their vision if they want to take this. It's looking like MU's going to take advantage of kind of an empty bot lane right now to secure their first turret. Now, actually, now that I think about it, I didn't realize, but SXU has the empowered boots as they were able to get the neutral objective feat of warfare as well with that drake. So they're sitting really nice in the item department. And this Rod of Ages sitting on Volibear, only going to get better for him.
Looks like we might be contesting for an objective. Every team is both teams are positioning. Ooh,
right? Diego kind of getting caught out there a little far up front. Really good curtain call. Oh, barely missing the root. But this Ashe.
I think this Rise is going to clean this up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it's the Ashe. I mean, Rise, okay, now that we've got the Cassiopeia, this could be very, very dangerous for SXU.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing a lot of damage. Rise barely missing the finishing touch on...
we have a cross-map ace as well.
Yep.
Scion solo kills.
It started out a little rough for SXU. They pulled it back in the middle, but once we got the Cassiopeia up there, full health bar.
Double.
Yeah, two characters that just deal a lot of damage in a little bit of time. It really kind of spelled doom for SXU there, but...
This gen is very scary now, 4-0-2 gen.
You know, he likes being at that
Rice
level.
Ball's been playing amazing in the last 2 matches that we watched.
Yeah. Rice Ball, I like talked to him between the match, and I was like mentioning to him like he has some really, really good spacing and very good like just comfort. He doesn't look like a very panicky player. And then I have to say the same for his opponent, Hamster. Like we saw the dodges earlier, even that whole play, even though it like went the way of Rice Ball. We're gonna have to get back to that because Kenny going for a typical vision check found a little bit more than he was hoping for. As Asuna Yuki is able to finish him off, push off the jungle, and we got the Drake coming up in 10 seconds. It's going to be tough for SXU to re-engage, but right now Armstrong Boys and Rice Ball looking towards mid lane, but Armstrong Boys going to turn around for the Drake.
So this Drake will probably go uncontested, I imagine.
Yes.
Great timing to set up to stop the vision they're trying to get so they can get free.
Got the ult coming out from what you got. Get knocked up by the Scion, so ult for ult up in the top lane. But I think right now what you got, you might be pushing up a little bit too far. I know you got a lot of sustain, but those turrets still do scaling damage, so you got to respect them. Now we do see while this was all going on, the Hextech Drake did go over to Manchester
They're going to
University.
try to do the same thing.
They try to hit them with the, you know,
you did to
the
us.
ditto.
Yeah.
But just, they had a feeling in their bones, and they decided
that
to
gen
try to push.
can make a Rice Ball with another good play.
So now they're hiding in another bush. Absolutely wonder. Let's see. You know, dun 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 dun. Swept out, and they don't even realize it yet. So this might actually turn out worse for them if they don't move on.
They're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, they decide to back off. And just kind of looks like we're doing a lot of dancing around this top side.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. They're clearly trying to get the neutral objective, but it looks like maybe both teams are going to let it live a little longer. I don't know. There's 4 up top, though.
It's something that kind of happens around this mid-game time, especially like I feel like it happens mostly around the top side neutral objective.
Yeah.
Where you like set up this tension of like, oh, we're gonna fight? Nah, never mind. Yeah. You gonna fight?
It's not worth it.
Nah, never mind. Whereas people are more willing to pull the trigger around the Drakes. Just kind of happens, you know, especially Alcava. Got a little bit of an engage from Armstrong Boys here.
You could tell Kenny's watching them to pull that now.
Yeah.
So you did to me once. I'm not doing that again.
Very quick adaptation, but here's the thing, is like even with that caution, they're now very lit up on their side of the jungle. So MU has a very easy time just finally getting into this Rift Herald. Doesn't look like there's going to be any answer from SXU. And what I'm noticing is despite how oppressive Volibear's lane was at the start, he's down a turret and has not been able to finish the job. But I do see 2B over on the bot lane trying to finish off the job.
Can he even damage that Scion now? I mean, two completed items.
It's not looking like he's doing much. Like he might have a little feather there.
Yeah.
Instead of claws.
I don't know. Do you lane swap? What do you do if you're SXU right now?
I think if you're SXU, I mean, all right, you've got what you got going in using the ult. Scion has his ult, he can turn around or he can ult away. I mean, the health bar increase doing a number for what you got, so he's just kind of chasing. That mid lane turret's going to go down as well. So right now, I think the issue you're feeling on SXU side is a lot of that, like, agency you had, a lot of that like good early lane advantages just slowly dwindled away because you're now in a 4K deficit on gold, and it's like you haven't quite been able to approach the turrets to take them down.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a slow suffocation. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe Otacon creates a nice fight point so that we can see a real team fight. Cassiopeia does have teleport that could match Rise, so we could see a 5v5 for this Otacon.
Not quite seeing the setup for it yet. I'm seeing a lot of the solo laners in bot, but as you mentioned, both have both have their teleports up so they can show up.
Imagine Manchester with having their turret feels a little bit more confident that they go for this.
Well, SXU doing at least what they can to clear out the vision here. Just kind of cautiously, like,
Silas is doing the wall trick, so hoping that this fight can cause someone to walk in the wrong direction.
Maybe an accidental start there on the Otacon, but who knows if it'll turn into a real engage. I mean, as a lot of vision just sat in that bush, and SXU has kind of slowly backed off of any engage that they might have had there.
Are they pulling Rise right now to send with them? Oh, great dodge.
Yeah.
No, man. You land that, you got it.
Right now, looks like everyone's just kind of packing it in the mid lane. Got the root out onto the Nautilus to knock out.
Decided ARAM is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, hey, if you don't know what else is going on, just ARAM it. It's a good reset, but especially more because the Drake is actually coming up in 4 seconds, and it looks like MU is going to be going for that. Or not.
Xavier has decided they would... if you're going to take Dragon, we're going to take this.
All right, this could be very, very contentious. Otacon is known for being a potential throw point, but they're
I think the
doing a little bit of damage. Yeah, they're getting it pretty quick. They're at half.
Oh, Rise needs to be attacking.
Rise needs to be attacking, but then the big thing is like they're able to get this down, and they can escape. But Cassiopeia this whole time is down taking Drake solo. And I think she might be able to do it. Kenny going down to the Scion. 2B,
you have to be attacking this.
Also going down. Carlo able to reset with the Leona, and this could be really, really good for the Viego. But the reset is just going to go away. We're trying to keep the Ash alive as Cassiopeia takes the Hex Drake, and Jin takes a double kill. Carlo running away.
All right, so a 3-for-1.
Yeah.
But they did get Otacon.
I think the Otacon is going to be good for equalizing them, but like the fact that they were able to let Cass just kind of sit there, taking the Drake, is like really not good for their momentum. And then they're already topside. Yeah, they have this Herald up here. Like they had 1, 2, 3 just all in the right spot, and they just took every step they had to.
This gen is very scary. I think they have to prioritize. There's a lot of focus on that last fight with Silas.
You know, I find it amusing that every time you call attention to the Jin, 4 is somewhere in its scoreline. Like, you know, first it was 4-0-1, now it's 6-0-4. I imagine it would be crazy if it suddenly dies 4 times, and you're like, hey, this Jin not as scary anymore. Oh, hey, before.
Yeah, but I don't know. Rice Ball just seems like he's not gonna die at all.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm hoping that they figure out a way to flank, because I don't know how you win a team fight if you have to hit a Scion and a Leona. And you've got to walk past them into a Cassiopeia. You just can't do that.
I mean, I think the big thing right now is you got 30 seconds until the Baron, which MU has been pretty good at capitalizing on that early in its spawn. But so first priority if you're SXU is prevent them from getting that, but then your next priority is see how we can safely leave our side of the map and get those turrets so we have more room to breathe. Because the fact that it's 25 minutes in and you still have that first line of turrets, it just makes it so tough to do what you want to do.
Yeah, and this Viego build, full glass cannon, so they need to get that first kill and hopefully snowball it.
And then it's even looking, we've got the Navori Quick Blades on the Volibear, so it's not actually as tanky as it could be. The Roa adding some extra health there, and the Navori Quick Blades helping it reset for the sustain, so it's got sustain, but he's not as big, he's not as chunky, and that's why you only really see him pop off once you have the ult, because then it's oh, okay, now I have the same health as the Scion.
Well, look at that build from Scion, the Thornmail coming through. I mean, 3-item Scion at this point that isn't ending. Very scary to see.
And then that
level 16, the passive stacking.
Yep.
I mean, that's a healthy Scion.
And then we even look down to Silas and Cassiopeia. They got some good amount of AP. We got full stacks on the ring for
stacking ring, as we've
called
it.
The stacking ring. Once we get to a spell book, I'll know what it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just with SXU kind of in this time. It's been a very quiet map, a lot of time to discuss, but we're at this topside river where Baron is the target. And
we're going to get a fight, but we might have a perfect disengage.
We have a perfect disengage. What does that mean, though? Are they just going to be
Or we have
we got a TP, we got an ult, but it doesn't really land on anyone. He gets knocked away by the blast code.
You teleport in the middle of 5 people, you ult over a wall, and then you're out.
Yep. So we're just going to be conceding the Baron here. But, I mean, it's taking very slowly. So if SXU wants to try to punish, they can.
They've found Jin.
Oh, they've isolated the Jin. This perfect, Rice Ball getting shut down by the Viego. But then Armstrong Boys just going in the middle of everyone, dealing a lot of damage. We got a double kill from the Silas, but then we got a reset from the Viego. But Viego being taken down by the Cassiopeia. Volibear running to the top turret, or at least just running away so that it's not a full ace. Great shutdown onto Rice Ball, but just the amount of damage, like I was just mentioning, that Silas and Cassiopeia have sitting in their kits make up for that. And then now this is going to be a free Baron going over to them.
I don't know where they go from here, because that had to have been the best start of a fight they could have hoped for. The Fed 80 carry didn't even attack before this team fight started, and it still was a 4-for-1.
I mean, I think the big thing there is what you needed to follow up on is once you got that Jin down, you needed to then prioritize the Cassiopeia because Silas has a lot of sustain, can deal a lot of damage.
You're not killing Zonya Silas either.
Exactly. So trying to get the Cassiopeia down, I think, would have brought them up a lot. We're seeing the Volibear starting to build some magic resist, which I think will be really good if we can turn that into something like maybe an Abyssal Mask or an Undead Despair. We've got the stolen ult coming out from Silas, got a flash coming out from the Ashe to get away, but that frees up the river to be a lot more comfortable for MU to walk in. And so even though they lost these first 2 Drakes, they've been clearing that river, making it their house ever since.
Not a single contested Drake since the first 2.
I mean, the only contested one this whole time has been the second one. But we do finally see the turrets being broken by what you got. Continuing the push. We got the ult from Admel to answer. A lot of turret shots being eaten by Volibear. He might want to... If he has his ult, that might be the only way he can get out of this. Actually, got the blast coming there, the shield, but he's going to turn around, poke a little more. I don't know if I like this. Does he win this? It's going to be a long, long fight if he wins this, and I just don't think either of them want to commit to that. But even if he does win this, his team
wants it.
He does want it.
Volibear wants it.
Volibear.
Go! Come on!
He's coming out strong. This is the Battle of Titans, but he's got the ult, and he's going to go in with the flash. You got to be able to pop him in a little bit, or else you're just going to start eating turret shots again. And the thing is even if you... he flashes. He's going to get this kill, maybe?
Hail Mary.
Oh, my God. No. Here's the thing. I have to respect that.
Yeah.
That was like the gauntlet throwdown. That was classic 1v1 chunky top laners. Like, no matter how that went, it was going to be an entertaining end. But the drawback on that is now there's a lot of free room for Manchester to start breaking in to the base. And then Sion still pushing the top now that he doesn't have someone to answer his lane. That base turret's gonna stay up for now. So I'm thinking like,
I mean, imagine being a 4-item Sion, 3, 1, and 9, and a 0-6 Volibear with 2 items can still take you down.
I mean, I imagine if we were able to have that fight farther up, that would have went very, very differently. Because the turret shots definitely did a lot for bringing him down low to begin with, and then still being part of why he wasn't able to get the job done. But so for right now, we've got a very neutral map. We've got no Baron up. We've got the Barons fading, I think, pretty soon. Or it has already faded. Diego, I don't think he's going to get caught out here. Rooted, down to 40% health, going to run away. So what macro movements do you think we need to see from St. Xavier to kind of stabilize? Because again, it's slowly going to choke.
I mean, they have to fanatic push cheese. Like I don't know if their team comp allows them. Like maybe Ryze can clear a tower, but they can kind of engage whenever they want, and then they're going to have a problem trying to engage on Manchester. Yeah. So I think they just have to somehow start off with maybe a Cassie pick, or they have to pick off Rice Ball.
All right, well, we got the arrow engaged onto the Sion. Yeah, let's see, we got one ult committed.
We have a teleport
slowly whittling down. We got TP coming in from Cassiopeia. The rest of the team is here. We got Silas going right back to the Ashe, and then they're continuing on to the Rise. Nautilus going down by Leona's hand. Support combat right there, and then Asuna Yuki finishing off Rise. And so just a really, really good answer to the engage from SXU by Manchester University, and this really opens up the base a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if they turned this into a potential game-ending move. I mean, it's 5 versus 2.
Really defend this for 20 seconds.
You've got the most sustainable champions for this, and if you can really get a good engage, you might be able to at least shrug them off for a little bit. But that Sion can just eat turret shots like it's nothing. And then Silas stealing the Volibear ult just to use it right back on it. And Manchester with all 5 taking the base for game 1. Oh, man. It was slow to start, but it just kind of ramped up with Manchester really just kind of having small victories here and there despite the way that SXU started off. I mean, I personally, really, really liked how SXU was doing at the beginning.
I loved how they were moving. It was they did amazing, and then 15 minutes hit, and it just was the Manchester show. And the Silas was just everywhere. Really, I wonder if Silas ignored topside, how that would have gone.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Silas did impact the Volibear pretty heavily. I wonder if that changed the whole outcome.
Yeah, I mean, because he definitely, the Volibear solo was doing really, really good against the Sion. And so, and with the solo laners, even the Rise was doing really good against the Cassiopeia, got a good gank.
Ashe and Nautilus were constantly pushing in. But yeah, Armstrong Boys just did some really amazing plays in that topside jungle, picked off a few people. Yeah. And that's really all it took.
I think especially I can't pinpoint the exact moment that things shifted, because even the macro plays were really, really good from SXU. Because, okay, sure, you've got Armstrong Boys getting the ganks for his solo laners, but they got the first 3 neutral objectives mostly uncontested. Yeah. And then their contests for that one Drake showed really good team fighting prowess, showed really good mechanics from their ADC. So I'm thinking this can still be a really, really good fight as we're getting ready for match 2.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think SXU needs to do differently going into the next one?
I think the biggest thing that I want to see SXU do here is capitalize on the confident gameplay, the oppression that their top laner seems to be able to have, and really like get that to break open. Because obviously it was drawing some aggression. If you're able to match that response and then keep up that aggression, like on your side, then okay, a well-fed top laner, like we've talked about earlier, like sometimes like if you can get your solo laner to carry like that, it can do a lot for your team. The other thing I want to see is I think if the bot lane is able to just like force a good 2v2 and make it like pull out the win on that, that can kind of like really split where Armstrong Boys has to give his attention, because we saw him helping out the solo laners, and even though the bot lane from SXU was always pushing in, Manchester was never really conceding much. They were just like, all right, we'll stay back. So if they can really punish that, or if the jungle comes down to punish that, that can be another avenue of like, okay, now, like, sure, he's answering top lane, he's answering mid lane. Well, now we're getting our AD carry fed.
Well, the consistent thing we've seen in the last 3 matches with Rice Ball is he gets fed and he doesn't die. So maybe that's the part that needs to change. But, you know, when you have a top laner that's feast or famine that can carry a game if they get ahead, I mean, I also get conflicted if you make sure that they get ahead so that they can control the top side of the map, because if that was the only part that they really needed to go their way in that early game, that probably could have dictated everything for the middle game.
Well, then another thing I want to see actually is like if they go back, if they do Scion versus Volibear or whatever, I would love to see what happens if you bring that Volibear to the bot lane and just do one alt dive. Because like a 3v2 bot lane alt dive from the Volibear, like that can just open up a lot of opportunities.
And that was
for
almost
your lane.
highly successful on that Ashe play where they did get the dragon because of it.
Yeah. And so if they did that a bit more responsively, if they set that trap, I think that really, especially like if it's 10 to 20 seconds before the Drake, they like have huge lane prio there. They've got 2 champs that they are going to take down. So I think that can open up a lot for them. So if they're able to like migrate, like get some roaming out of their top laner, if he's running it back on the Volibear, if he's able to keep having these aggressive lanes, I think that can do a lot for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they really need to change much. They did very well. I think they brought it to them, and they definitely were not scared of Manchester.
Not in the slightest. I really think it was just little tiny things, because even that gold difference, it was so stagnant for the longest time. There was no difference for a lot. So like everyone's farm was staying up. There was just a lot of equality where it's like any lane domination from SXE was met by a little bit of macro response from Manchester, and then vice versa. And so I really do think as we're heading into this second match, when we do get onto it, I'm very confident that SXU can still like continue to put up a good fight. But I think we're going to take a little bit of a break here before we get into that. And so we will be back here at the Great Lakes Esports Conference lower bracket semifinals for League of Legends. And welcome back to the Great Lakes Esports Conference lower bracket semifinals for League of Legends. We're just getting back from a break. I think we're going to be getting into draft real soon for match 2 of St. Xavier University versus Manchester University. Pretty tight game 1 for most part, Croy. So I know you asked me about what you want, like what I want to see from St. Xavier. What about you? What are we hoping to see in this second match to maybe make it a series?
I still feel so strong that there is not a single ban that is worth it for Armstrong Boys, like maybe Rek'Sai, just because like that can really impact you. But I feel like he's always going to impact you. Like I just don't see a single game where he's never going to be able to carry that just impacts you. So I like banning everything else, and I would love to see the Mel ban.
Sure.
Just because most people, they start to forget it.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do love their bans currently. I don't really want to see them put 2 more. But it looks like they like the gen.
Yeah.
Definitely filling the gen. So what I want to see is that bot lane get disrupted. Because having Ashe sit and gen free farming, it did not work out. It definitely just let him get there. I didn't see the CS advantage wasn't there. The advantage for the XP was not there. And they didn't really pull off too much more with Nautilus roaming last game.
So this is an interesting switch up.
I
The
love
Nocturne for the
Nocturne.
jungle. Definitely going to switch up their playstyle a lot.
The point and click. This is making sure that post 6, they have a lot of agency.
Yeah.
They can control the map.
Yeah.
You can't be out of place. And Nocturne's one of my main characters. It is the character I pick if I know I just want to have a decent game.
Yeah. Well, then to bring it back to the bans, to go them over, we got a lot of the same from last time. We got Aurora, Milio, and Oriana from MU banning, and then SXU banning Mel, Renekton, and Rek'Sai, and then also locking in the Sivir here. So already off the bat, a good switch up from SXU. So really throwing down like, all right, we're going to play the game differently this time.
I mean, you just pop that Sivir ult, the darkness happens. You don't see how fast they're coming at you. I like this.
Reliably locking in Leona for Manchester University again. We've been seeing their support rocking this all day. So we know what to expect from that. And then looks like they're hovering the Scion here. They were a real big fan of that.
Volibear again. I mean, it would have done well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the answer is from SXU.
He's like, you'll give me that Volibear.
Maybe they'll throw it back. Maybe they'll pull out the Mordekaiser like we saw earlier today from Bethel. Or maybe we'll have to wait as we get Lulu locked in for
Nocturne
support.
can go in the middle of their team, and Lulu can ult.
Wow. This is overall very different, like just very different game plan.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is like maybe a mix of team fight, and they're banning out the Silas.
Yeah.
So they're throwing another ban over at the jungle, which honestly, I don't blame them for this one.
I don't.
Because I think they got one ban in the first round, one ban in the second
whatever
round.
he played against you, you're always going to ban it the next game because
happens.
you don't want that. You have recent memory.
It happens. Banning set here is actually really, really intelligent from MU because if SXU had locked that in, you could just drop a Scion on a Jhin, and Jin's not there anymore. But
that's a very good call if he plays that Scion or not Scion, that set.
Yeah. So
And another
getting
Wukong.
another Wukong ban. So really trying to pinch the pool around Armstrong boys here. And honestly, I think probably a solid call the way that they did it. Rek'Sai, just no matter what jungler is, very rough to deal with right now. Silas, as we saw, like in every game today, actually really just has a really good influence on the game, the meta that we have here at this tournament. And then Wukong is just another good one to ban. To finish out on MU side, they're going to be banning Lissandra. So what do we think we get back on SXU side?
So they got to pick their solo laners again. I feel like they're going to pick their top laner.
Ornn. Yeah, we got the Ornn locked in top.
Interesting. So another noodle fight.
I mean, that's going to be a noodle fight, but what I think is really big is the way this changes their team fight. Because
it's
if you
really strong.
They've got a crazy engage potential here. You've got the lights off from Nocturne, target the ADC or Talia as that's being locked in here, which it looks like we're going to be locking it in. Yes.
Does her field?
Her field does stun you. It does stun you. So that's
even if the Nocturne uses the I mean,
he's unstoppable though.
Yeah.
If he's
it doesn't, but might be stunned when it hits.
I don't think so. I don't.
Yeah.
But regardless, so we got the Talia locked in there. But so if you're Nocturne, you turn the lights off, go back to one of the squishy
Is that
carries.
a jungle?
It could be Talia jungle. We're not sure. We don't have this last champion picked.
I can see a Jax.
We're seeing Vi. Oh, Jax. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So we got the Jax jungle. Talia going to be going mid. And so let's see what SXU wants to respond with for the mid. I mean, even beside all that, though, it's like you just have the
What if they pulled out a TF?
A TF?
I don't. It wouldn't be great for the team fight, but the Nocturne, maybe they go for Row.
I mean,
but I don't know.
Imagine if they had a Galio.
Galio would
Galio would
be
be pretty solid
would be great.
here. But instead they're going to go for
love
the
Cannon.
cannon.
I love that.
Oh, wow.
Love that pick.
Okay, I'm really, really loving.
You're like, oh, you got Leona, a Scion, a Jax?
Mm-hmm.
We have a Cannon.
We have a cannon. Well, especially, you get that cannon, you get a Zonies on it, you go there, you ult, you've done your job.
Yeah.
Your team can clean up from that, especially as long as you're making sure you are capturing the Jhin and Talia in it, because I think just the AD carry and the mid for Manchester has been doing so much. Like, I know we're talking a lot about Armstrong Boyce today and a lot of his macro movements, but when it comes to the damage, when it comes to the kills, I see a lot from them. And so they're the ones really, and even when it comes to pushing the lanes. So being able to shut them down, I think a lot of the champions over on SXU side
I mean,
can
they
do
took
this.
a lot of pressure off themselves to make plays. I think SXU can play this, just farm, push the game, and you can just ult in with a Nocturne in the mid game. But if this gets to the late game, that team fight is scary. The Ornal is going to knock you up. The Cannon's done. Lights out, and the speed, and then you finally get on someone, and Lulu's just going to ult them. So
Yeah.
I love the team comp. So I just think that they're going to have to focus on the first 18 to 20 minutes of this game. And
Yeah.
they're just going to have to keep it at 0-0. But the best part about Nocturne is he just gets free kills. So I think you just slow this game down as much as possible and play around that Nocturne.
Yeah, and so again, that's a good answer because it's going to help him do some counter ganking. Like, okay, Armstrong Boyce has been doing a lot of ganking, providing some life support for his solo laners. Well, now Nocturne can turn the lights off and go back in, or he can engage on the other side of the map and like, okay, you're ganking my top laner, your bot lane's gone. Okay, you're ganking my mid laner, I'll be there too. Or now your top lane's gone. You know, you've got good options there. But even gank aside, he can just play the mind game. He can turn the lights off. Where are we? We're sneaking the Drake. We're sneaking the Herald. We're sneaking whatever we want. So really, really a lot of like unique potential here from this new composition.
But I did realize Talia can kind of follow the Nocturne, but it needs to be proactive than reactive.
Yeah, Talia, I think, is the big thorn that could be in the side of this whole match, because her field could make Kennen stun himself if he uses like a rocket belt.
Yeah.
It could make Ornn, if he uses the E, could stun. It could do that. But then most importantly, it can either really get in and start fights, or it can just run away and you won't be able to, and you've wasted effort trying to capture her.
Yeah.
So I think Talia is definitely going to provide a unique angle for Manchester in the entirety of this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think just get to 15 minutes, and that's when Manchester's been pulling away. So I think SXU has the great 15 to 25-minute window. Yeah, so they just got to, I think, get there, which Game 1 showed us they can clearly hang and take a lead up until 15 minutes. So I do love how this is going to play out.
Theory-wise, yeah. There's
how it plays out,
yeah.
we'll see.
Looks like we're taking a minute to be getting onto the map here. So I'm just going to kind of keep going through some of the other draft. The Sivir, I think, might give a lot more agency to the bot laner for SXU. Having those shields to protect from spells.
Yeah, I mean, Leona, the worst part about Ashe is once they throw the ult, even if you ult to counter it, you're going to get stunned up and
You're still
locked
sitting
up. Sivir can just walk away when you ult.
Yeah.
So I like this a lot more. Leona really can't have the same impact that just did with a Nautilus versus a Lulu and a Sivir versus an Ashe.
Yeah, and then the Lulu also, I think, providing some extra shielding and auto attacks, like just putting the Pixie on Sivir can really help her just kind of keep the lane pushed up. Maybe
only
make
has
some more aggressive plays.
4 attacks, so a shield, it can be the most devastating thing for that.
Absolutely. But then on the flip side, this Jax from Manchester. It's not something I've seen yet today.
I played against his Jax, and
boy.
he dominated me. I was Vi, and he took me out twice in the early game, and I was not having a good time. So I've personally seen this Jax, played against it, and not done well. So
all right, so really a potential threat out there on the map for SXU. So something they got to be very, very wary of.
But Nocturne is a comfortable character against a Jax because your spell shield does block the stun. Your E you put on him even while he's got his auto block, and so I do like Nocturne into Jax, but I think it's all going to be this Kennen. Kennen's one of those champions that if you are a little bit fed, you ult properly, and you just watch all of them, their health bars melt.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I am slightly nervous about is if you look at the side of MU, they've got Leona and Sion as their front line, as their tanks. Jax can be up there too, tanking damage, like negating just any auto attacks don't matter. And if he's building a bruiser type, he'll still like have a solid health bar. Whereas you don't quite have that front line on SXU. Your only real like front line is an Ornn.
Yeah.
And Kennen isn't a front line. He just gets in there and Zonias.
Yeah.
So kind of lacking on that part at SXU, so they're going to have to play very, very carefully around the late game.
Now, do you think this Ornn will be aggressive? Because we know that the player is aggressive. Do we think the Ornn can push around a Sion like the Volibear did?
Absolutely. I mean, because number one, you got the passive of the brittle that can make the health bar of your lane opponents not really matter too much, and is very shocking to deal with as a lane opponent. Oh, right now they got the 5, and Jin is all alone. If they can path right.
Just saw it.
Just barely. Okay, so a little bit of shenanigans. Almost paying off this time, but showing just quite early, not in the right spot. He's able to safely go away. And rather than doing a full back, everyone's just going to kind of slowly travel together towards the top lane. Maybe see if that jungler's sniffing around up there and you can collapse on him instead. And he was, but he's decided to just place a ward and leave. When it comes to the top lane, like you asked, do I think it can be impressive? So yes, the brittle I think is going to be good for the early team fighting, or not team fighting, the early lane fighting that what you got has shown he really likes to do.
Yeah. And Ornn has some surprising damage that can come out of nowhere.
Absolutely. Well, then especially on the flip side is like he's going to be racking up those defenses. And the best part, he doesn't have to go back to purchase items. So he can add
Doesn't help in the sustain game that Sion wants to play.
Not at all. And I think the laning is going to be interesting here from the mid lane. I feel like they're both going to kind of just play the poke farm game. I don't feel like it's going to be as engage heavy in the first few levels as we've had for the other ones. Down on the bot lane, it's looking again like we're seeing Hamster pushing up and Hamster and Kenny. So looks like they're trying to keep that poke damage. Getting whittled away at by those mage minions. So he's having to pop the health potion to kind of regain a little bit of that health he lost.
Yeah, Sivir's push is just unbearable. Great Q.
Yeah, really, really good Q. And they got the early level 2, getting some cross-side vision, making sure they're not going to be punished for their aggression.
Is that attack Sivir?
I think it is. Wow. What a throwback.
Yeah. Did they make that available again through like?
I think the only way it's available, aside from if you like got it in the proper packs way, is if you're like part of the creator initiative or whatever it is, the partner program, where they just unlock everything for you. Right now we got the Ornn. Yep, there's that brittle. Getting a little bit of health back off of that, and so you saw like he kind of popped that, and that was through his shield even. So if he's able to get like the QWE combo, that can really just set up a good like just chip away, back off, chip away, back off until it's time where, and this is a point you want to be at as well. I see QWE knocked him right up, got that health right back down, but he's not able to escape as quickly. So he's kind of might want to make sure your wave is a little bit smaller, but just once again popping off with these brittles.
Yeah.
Low on mana, so I don't think he'll be able to keep that up too much longer. But if he's got enough gold for a mana crystal, it doesn't matter here. As we're getting down with the flash for flash answer, as we have the Nocturne roaming towards mid, taking Asuna Yuki down just a little bit, and then
that's going to be really good for that Kennen. Kennen already has a lead. That's all. She'll just teleport right back to lane, but definitely great for Kennen.
Yeah, and then even the lane tempo, it's like, all right, he'll be able to get a little bit of extra farm, force out the TP from Asuna Yuki. If he wants to go reset himself, he can. He doesn't really need to. He's comfortable on health, and because he's an energy-based champion, it's not like he has to go back and refill that. Yeah. So he might just want to stay here a little longer, keep
you
farming
do that
up.
Beautiful thing where you trade your health bar.
Right now, health bar is getting really, really low. You want to talk about trading health bars. That's what it seems we're doing up here, as we got the flash engage for the first blood. Going over to Armstrong boys on the Jax. Just really, really great punishment. We got the sneak up coming from the Doctor. Is he going to go in? He doesn't see him. Now he sees him, and
Just
Scion's
lets it
just
go.
gonna slowly walk away. Tried to path like just a little bit slowly to kind of sneak up. Hope that Armstrong Boys was gone. He was in the bush, so Admel is just able to safely back off.
But Armstrong Boys being in the right place at the right time, again, affecting the top lane very early because of that aggression.
And so, like I said, like if we know that's going to happen, because we do know it's going to happen, I want to see Carlo. I want to see him on the bottom side. I want to see him enabling Pin Hamster and Kenny, because they are like on their own against Rice Ball and Number Titan. They're doing really good. They're keeping them on the ropes. So now, if you're able to like maybe bait them, keep the lane on your the wave on your side. We're gonna hopefully be getting to level 6 in a little bit here. So especially, I think now will be the time that you can really get your bot lane ahead, especially because you got this Sky Drake up right now, or the Wind Drake up right now.
Yeah, and Nocturne did do the accelerated jungle clear, so he will have pretty much equal farm or better than everyone on the map. So we are looking at a Nocturne probably just focused on that rush of 6, which comes with that awkward period where there's nothing on the map for him for a solid 40 seconds to a minute after he gets this. So we'll see what he ends up doing, but I bet you he'll just place a ward if you recall.
Yeah.
Or they might
Just go for the Drake. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
they've got a ward down there. There's
they
no
pushed in. This might be uncontested.
I don't think it's going to be uncontested because there is a river ward on the side of MU, so they can see that the bot lane went up. But you know what? They are going to decide to just leave it.
Just like last game, too, right?
Yep.
They don't mind if you take the first 1 or 2. It's really that third one where they prioritize, they ward well. So we'll see if this will lead to a good advantage.
And then Armstrong Boys initially going up looking for that scuttle if you saw by his pink, but now he's poising himself, gone to Kennen. But first we got Carlo with the ult, 2B with the ult. Oh my gosh, we got the double kill. Carlo slaying Armstrong Boys. We got Asini going down by the hand of 2B. So even though Armstrong Boys was the one setting up for that gank, Carlo was just able to decide to
dragon.
do it. Yeah.
This is a ridiculously early level 6.
It is.
Jungler.
Well, then the nice, like, that's good sequencing from Carlo. He got the Drake, he ulted, got the double for the mid lane, 2 for 0. Then he took the scuttle. He just
Did the scuttle give him the 6 probably?
No, it was the gank. Or I mean, not even that. The dragon gave him the 6.
Yeah, I mean that's why you do the accelerated path on Nocturne, because I mean 6 minutes having level 6 is pretty unbearable. I mean, there's only one other character, and Scion's level 7, which is pretty. I don't know how that happens so quick, but.
Well, then now that we do have the Nocturne up on the level 6, it's going to free him up a lot more. As we're getting into the bot lane, as Number Titan is trying to lock down Pimp Hamster. Pimp Hamster able to run away. Number Titan might be going down here. We got the flash in from Jin. Number Hamster getting shielded, staying alive. Wow. Oh my gosh. The Lulu shield coming in absolutely clutch. This is exactly what I wanted to see from the bot lane.
We called that. We said that there's going to be a shield. Jin only has a set amount of auto attacks. He flashes in. The shield prevents the kill, and he's just standing there watching himself die.
This is a beautiful like setup for SXU. They've got the first feat of warfare, getting 4 kills for 1 unanswered, getting that first Drake. And so now we've got Armstrong Boys heading up towards the Void Grub so we can maybe have a fight for that neutral objective feat. But this is a really, really good play from the bot lane.
And basically a 20 CS lead for the jungle and the mid laner. So they're in a great spot.
And then even like Armstrong Boys deciding, all right, like, I'm going to back off. Seeing on the vision that the bot lane is moving up here. And the bot lane's going, chasing after Talia. This cannon is really aggressive. Like, they're really trying to... and it goes down with an amazing Q from Pimp Hamster. 3-0 for the SXU ADC. This is great opening from them.
Every Q I have seen from him has hit twice. Like, it is really hard to... You know, the first one you get, but the fact that almost all his Qs are hitting on the backswing too, absolutely amazing.
Well, then because he shrugged off the jungler, who even needs yours? The bot lane's up here. We'll take the Void Grubs from you.
And the perfect part about that whole window is...
All right, maybe not.
You just made a play, and Nocturne has his ult.
Yeah.
So it's like you make a play with Nocturne, You make another play in the bot, you make one more play, and then, oh, the greatest opportunity is back with a Nocturnal.
Yeah. I do wish that we could have seen that play translate to the Void Grub. I still think we're going to see it go the way of SXU as we don't see MU on the side. It looks like Armstrong Boys is prioritizing the bot. It looks like they're going to try to push that up as far as they can. Maybe catch the lone Sivir. She's getting back to lane. Carlo deciding to continue the Void Grubs and hopefully finish what Pimp Hamster and Kenny started. We got 2B roaming up to help him out. Sivir's got to be really, really careful. She does not know that Armstrong Boys is there waiting in the bush. And I want to get a pan on that so we can see what happens. And it actually looks like nothing.
This might be really unfortunate for them.
Yeah, very, very like competent, safe gameplay from Pimp Hamster. Very like. Well, I mean, we got the Talia collapsing. Do we have the flash available? No, we do not. So that is unfortunately going to be the shutdown going over. Really, really good trap set, but they had to use the Talia roam, Talia ult for that. So I'm hoping that Kennen can at least...
Jax flash. No, Jax got flash. Okay.
Jax did keep flash. A slow setup for that play, but really, really good. Kind of like curbing the momentum of Pimp Hamster.
So we'll see if that was a pretty significant investment into taking that kill, which probably was necessary. You got a shutdown kill, the gold on the gen.
Yeah.
So
Drake is up in 30 seconds, and Sivir is back up. So the big thing is you got to stay down here, make sure you're doing it. And as they jump onto Sivir once again, but then Rice Ball going down by Nocturne's hand.
Nocturne cleans this
Yeah,
up.
and then even Jax, like the ulted Nocturne by Lulu, which is absolutely insane. Okay, he's going to get stunned for a little bit. Fine. It's still. And then while we're not looking, Asuna Yuki being taken down by what you got. And so they're chasing away. Armstrong Boys finally going down at the hand of 2B. And if we go back over to the Drake, it's just going to be a pretty free Drake for them, as it looks like they're trying to chase down the Leona, who's decided to stay alive because, you know, she takes a lot of damage. But Ornn's going to go ahead and finish her off. Or at least keep chasing her away. There we go. The Bellows Breath just to finish the job. Sion this whole time stay in the top side to at least get something back. But that's going to be another 3 neutral objectives, meaning more empowered boots for the side of SXU. So they're continuing on this beautiful macro that we saw from the first one in this match as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they're in an amazing position right now. Nocturne has a completed, I forget what the item's called, but basically his ults are going to be on instant cooldowns. So they are in the best position to keep snowballing this. So can Manchester slow this down? Can they turn it back into a normal game?
I know it's a Hex Tech item. I think it's like an experimental Hex something.
Yeah, experimental Hex plate.
Yeah, I think it's a Hex plate. We got there together. We're learning the items of the game.
They like to just make names. They like to change names.
Yeah,
they like
absolutely.
to bring stuff back.
They do. Like Rod of Ages was gone. It's back now. Sunfire Cape is now Sunfire Aegis. It happens. Everything. You know, we've got. Then you've got the Hollow Radiance over on the side of Sion right now. So you got the MR burn versus the AD burn. Which are you more partial to? Personally, I'm a bigger fan of Hollow Radiance because of the burst on the death. And so especially if you throw a Sion in the middle of a team fight.
Oh, nice red steal there.
You know? But if you throw the Sion in the middle of a team fight and maybe his burn kills someone, suddenly now his teammates are also getting burst. That can do a lot of good damage. And then you see that's a good answer into the damage that Ornn is dealing. And Kennen, as you mentioned, that ult, if you Zhonya's, it just shreds him. Well, now he's got a little bit of an answer to that. So I think Sion has been quietly like building up to be this brick wall that he's going to need when his team can like finally engage in team fights. But we need to get to that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's a fed Sivir, and it's taken a lot.
With the Lulu auto attacks, support that you just saw Sion, made him walk away, took half his health.
Looks like we got another play coming.
Yeah, we got the double ults. We got. How did Leona end up that far? I mean, it's not going to mean much. And in fact, they're actually going to be able to turn this around and punish 2B. A really good tempo from Leona.
Flash.
Amazing flash engage. with the curtain call finishing off
Exactly what
Nocturne.
Manchester needed. This game just got brought back into arm's reach. And actually, Manchester just took a goal lead.
Yeah. They did.
It's amazing. I mean, the shutdown kills, they killed 2 people that hadn't died in the game. That's amazing. I did not, I mean, 30 seconds ago, this game felt one-sided. And Manchester's winning again.
It's now equal. Winning, it's only 500 gold. We got the Ornalt coming out here onto the Talia, but getting knocked back. Slowly losing his health bar. Then on the other side, got looks like the turret's going to be going down. Oh, dashing through that field is a bit risky. You're hurting yourself a lot just to try and whittle down this Talia.
That was a lot more damage than I thought he was going to take, to be honest.
But hey, Sivir's on our way up, and honestly, with that low of a health bar, the Sivir Q, like we've been seeing him hit the 1-2s, we might get the 1-2. Or at least push forward, get this turret. Then we do have the Herald up now, so imagine both teams might be putting some resources up there. And what I find very interesting is up until this point in the last game, SXU looks good. The same thing happened here. We got the Leona engaging.
We're at that 15-minute mark.
Yeah. Not much going to happen from that, but we're at that point again where suddenly the tide seems to be going in MU's way.
Yeah. They're going to time this, it looks, with getting the Herald, and then their Dragon's going to spawn in a nice timing window about a minute later. So this is about as ideal for Manchester as they could possibly have asked for.
It looks like Nocturne and Lorne are setting up to maybe, hopefully, like at least punish this Talia, keep her out of the game. I know they've been doing a lot of that. So we do have the unstoppable ult going.
It's done.
Yeah, it did after the fact. And Talia just going to be able to get away.
Interesting call when we're about a minute away from Dragon. There's no vision by anybody at Dragon, so it looks like Leona will set up for it. So Manchester probably will contest this one.
I mean, they might like even contest beforehand. They might like stand their ground in SXU jungle and push them out of it. Especially because, like, right now, Carlo, he won't be able to respond with a really, really good ult like we saw before the last Drake. So they're very much at the whims of, like, okay, the only character they have right now in arm's reach, they can collapse on the silent, but by the time you get into half HP, because your Sivir isn't with you right now, it's going to take a while. But speaking of Sivir, she's getting jumped on by Jax, and a great Hugify coming from Lulu, as now they've turned their attention over to Rice Ball. Rice Ball going down. The Ornal coming from the bot. We got Jax jumping on the ADC. We have Kenny going down, Tubi going down, as now MU found a really good engage on that. And they're going to keep chasing. The health bar is getting really, really low, and they might just have to back off here. But the thing is, Carlo's ult is coming up very soon. So if they're able to stay safe for a little bit longer, they might be able to re-engage here. Especially like if we can get Ornn to eat a little bit of damage. He doesn't have his ult up, so it's going to be risky. I don't even think they're going to do that. Looks like they're going towards taking the top side jungle. Couldn't concede this Drake. Very safe recoup from that. We want them to turn this into maybe trying to get some turrets.
Yeah. I think the SXU is having a little bit of focus fire issues. It seems like they're constantly splitting their damage amongst multiple targets. And because that fight, it did look like they had a big advantage, and then they didn't.
Yeah. Well, now it's a very, very, very neutral map. We have nothing for 4.5 minutes. So the only thing that you can take are kills in turrets. So in this time, how do you think like SXU regains the ground that they had? Because now it went from a slight lead to an even bigger lead. They're down 2K. The kills are more even. Turrets, however, in favor of MU and about to continue to be. So how do we crawl back to this?
I mean, I think this is feeling really similar to last game, where there's nothing obvious. The play would be, okay, you have a Nocturnal, but where is someone out of place? They're really not. Scion isn't a great ult. Ornn and Nocturne aren't going to kill that. So the Nocturne is great when everything is obvious, but when it's not, I don't know what they're going to do besides waiting for objectives and clearing farm when it comes.
It looks like they're going to be chasing down this Leona.
Might be
I'm not sure I want to
forcing
keep
a
going for
fight.
that. Oh, we do go flash.
That Talia,
Oh.
if they focus that Talia.
But again, they leave it, and then now Sion is here. All right, Nocturne going to go finish off Talia, but the rest of the team stayed in the river and got engaged on. And what started out like as a pretty decent engage ends in favor of MU, and it's not something I'm sure I would want to do to begin with, because like I said, we got nothing on the map for 3 minutes. The thing you should be fighting for right now is like your turrets, or at least like stopping them from taking yours. And the big thing about this too, Sion has just been a thorn in their side the whole time.
Yeah, that Nocturne has good damage. I mean, not even hurting.
And then even like all that aside, like he's always been pushing a lane, forcing you to answer him. Because if you don't, he's like, okay, I'm gonna use my demolish. I'm gonna keep taking this turret. So you have to deal with me.
I think Talia went out of vision there. And that's why the Nocturne took so long to hold on.
I do think because like in the weird corners of the wall, it definitely was not in favor of following up on him. The Otacon gonna go uncontested over to MU as a follow-up to that previous play.
So again, another very strong start for SXU in the first 15 minutes, and once it hits that mark, it goes straight to Manchester nonstop.
I mean, I do feel like it's not dramatically over for SXU. Like there is still little points that you can shore up. Now, sure, we're at a 4K gold lead. Yeah, sure, now MU has the kill lead, but you guys have shown you have really, really good engage. These Lulu ults are doing absolute like numbers in both protecting characters that might be at risk or empowering like the Nocturne. So I'm really liking the calls here. I just want them to find like slightly better angles and like maybe try to set up to trap more.
Is Kennen not building Zhonya's yet either?
No, Kennen looking like
third item Zhonya's is interesting because obviously Zhonya's feels like it's part of your abilities that you need to operate.
Yeah. I imagine here we got the needlessly large rod, the Hextech alternator.
I mean, probably going for damage.
Yeah, just probably trying to like burst out.
Yeah. I mean, definitely you can already see Kennen melting everyone's health bar.
As we're going to be finding the Jax in the jungle. And Jin just within curtain call range. Sion happens to be around here. And so we're going to have another surprise team fight that I don't think anyone...
Jax is like taking no damage.
Jax didn't take any damage. Now Kennen is in, and he's using the ult. Oh my gosh, he's bringing the hurt down onto Jax. But Pinhamster going down
that
for all this.
Jax
Jin now with a double kill.
Stacks so much.
Yeah. Really just kind of an unfortunate meetup. I don't think either team really like intended for anything to happen there. I think the positioning from MU allowed them to answer the sudden engagement just a little bit better, a little bit quicker. I mean, they did a good job of almost taking down Armstrong Boyce, but he just couldn't get hurt.
Yeah, his ult probably had stacked by way too much at that time. I mean, Nocturnal attacking him.
Now, the difficulty of this one is you got Kennen and Drake spawning at about the same time. Kennen doesn't have the TP up, and you've got the entirety of MU here. So you might have to concede this Drake again.
And interesting that it looks like the first part of Azonia's is coming through for Jax. So even harder to take out.
Yeah. I mean, we've got the Shadow Flame over on Kennen, which is going to be really, really good for that scaling damage of the ultimate. But you need to be able to survive your engage. And so we're seeing that cloth armor. He's ready now to build the Seeker's Arm Guard. We'll get there at some point as Jax finds a stray Nocturne. Nocturne getting hugified so you can safely escape. But Leona finding a good hook. Oh, and Talia with the great knockback. And it's looking like it's going to be 2 kills here. Maybe not. Warren able to get away, but if he can... Yep, he walks away just out of range of this curtain call, and he's just going to sit there waiting for Jin to be done. And we do see a blue turret destroyed as Kennen is on the top side. Tubi making a split push so that we can finally get something. And honestly, I do think that it's pretty good. That'll give them a little bit of breathing room when it comes to the Herald or the Baron fight that's going to be coming up in a minute or so.
And just looking at the stats, I mean, look at the kill participation from Jax and Leona. I mean, they are everywhere. Their team has 15 kills. Jax has been part of 13. Leona's been part of 11. They're basically engaged.
Ornall going in here, and they're deciding to turn around on push-ups. Continuing to go in. Okay, we got the ult coming off the McKenna. Oh my gosh, he just kept them locked down. Jhin getting shut down. He will get killed in return, and Ornn staying alive, soaking up a lot of damage. Sion, really, really low. This Sivir is just pumping out so much damage, but the issue is Jax has a full health bar and got a triple kill by jumping from character to character to character. We're at least going to get a clap back from the Nocturne, and I think we get one kill, but we also give a quadra over to Jax, and it's going to be the ace for Manchester University off of a really, it started as a good engage from SXU. I think they were really able to pump out a lot of damage. Kennen laying it down, but sadly, it's just that Jax, full health bar. And now they are entering the base, taking down the inhib turret and the inhib. But they stuck around, and maybe it's looking like 2B wants to punish this. Sion going down.
Good shutdown.
That is actually really, really good.
218 farm.
I mean, hey, that might help him get the Seeker's Arm Guard if he goes back to his base, and it's looking like, yep, there it is. The Seeker's Arm Guard completed.
So what do they do about this Jax?
Oh man,
I don't know. Like they have focused him. You can't focus him, and then if you do, you're probably not going to even be successful.
I think the tough thing is MU, like the way that they're positioned, is you see it always looks like someone is alone, but they're not.
Never.
Like there's always some, like the way they've been traveling. It's very packed tactics right now, where there's the only person away is someone that can TP in.
I mean, even having your Sion that we feel has been just top lane or bot lane pushing has, more than 50% kill participation. I mean, everyone on their team has at least 50% kill participation.
Yeah.
They are a great team-oriented group.
Yeah. And so I think what you want to try to find someone who's maybe strained from the pack a little bit, but the only person that you can reliably see that, like we've mentioned, is the Sion.
And why would you with the Nocturne on their team? You just wouldn't. You would not get the opportunity to not be alone. So right now they're playing as a group, and it counters, besides Kennen, but it's doing very well against the Nocturne.
Now they've had control of the river on the Baron side for a little bit, but they've been very cautious to do that, and it looks now like they're planning to collapse on the Ornn, who's pushed up just a little bit far, trying to get away, and just this CC chain keeping it locked in. The knockback from the Talia going to make sure that kill gets secured by the Jax. And now they're going to move their attention over to Baron.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
While taking a turret on the bot side.
Right, I mean, they don't really have a ward for this.
I mean, I can see Nocturne turning the lights off, trying to get in there for a steal. It's going to be very, very risky.
How's he going to see it?
Yeah, no, he's just not able to do it. So Baron just quietly taken by MU, not really able to get an answer from SXU. As they're gathering up in the mid lane here. I'm wondering if they want to take what little time they can to maybe try to make a push for the mid lane, but now it's got the super minion coming through, so you just can't really make a push.
I mean, you basically just have to find a pick. There's no real options to win a team fight. You have to make a pick.
And then they have the reprieve as Sion has decided to back. It's the Sion with the Baron, but now you've got Ornn pushing up again, not getting stunned this time, might be able to escape, but he's slowly getting collapsed on. They've got the Leona hook. They're just going to keep on chasing him through. Talia probably going to get another knockback. Yep, stunning him up. So that's just a vicious CC engage. This pack, it's specifically Leona, Jax, and Talia. They are always together. They have a crazy combo that is just inescapable. If you get hit by one, you will get hit by them all. You got Sion chasing down the Kennen up here. 2B using the ult to try and give himself some room to get away, but that Sion's health bar is too big. Yours is too small. He's going to let you live this time at least, but while you're doing this, your bot lane is being taken.
I think they're going to wrap up the game with almost everyone alive.
Yeah, I mean, they take the first Nexus turret, they jump forward, curtain call to maybe get a response. You got a Zonies coming out from the Jags. Jags low on health. They do take the Nexus turret, but this engage might be really, really good to kind of keep them alive for a little bit, except I don't see any damage being taken. Like, they're trying to dish it out, but it's just not being received. And now, like, in the last effort, we got the Ornal coming through, but Manchester University gonna whittle their way through him, get one final kill before they take the Nexus to secure the win, going 2-0 in the semifinals of the lower bracket. Another wonderful game. This time, I think a lot more dragged out than the last one, but we saw a little bit of the same story. I still think overall very wonderful gameplay from both sides.
Yes, absolutely. I think St. Xavier definitely did very well in both games. I think, you know, Manchester's a very hard team to deal with, and they did perform very well.
Yeah. Well, so now this sets us up tomorrow. It's going to be the lower final, Cleveland State versus Manchester University, the 2 seed versus the 3 seed, a rematch from upper semifinals 2-0. Do we think that maybe like Manchester coming up through the lower bracket, they might have a chance to carry that momentum? You know, lower bracket runs are a pretty popular thing in League. Those extra games really help.
They're definitely playing well, and yeah, the loss to Cleveland State getting upset is probably a wake-up call that will make them stronger. So definitely think that Manchester's prime for tomorrow.
Yeah. And then, I mean, they were just playing really, really well on all parts. I mean, the fact that both of these SXU games were a game of patience for them, like, because for the first 15 minutes, SXU had them. They were firing on all cylinders. First game, it was like, okay, we might be losing, like, kills to the to Armstrong boys, but we're making all the map movements, like we got the feeds. And then the next game they fixed that. It's like, all right, now we're getting the kills too.
Every lane was winning. They had every objective.
Yeah, it was just that one crucial mid lane fight that didn't quite go their way that I think kind of like equalized everything and gave MU a chance to climb back into the game. Yeah. And so like if Manchester is able to approach CSU with that same level of diligence, patience, good macro play, I think they have a good chance at reversing their fortune.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to see tomorrow. I've played against Cleveland State and Manchester. They're both great teams.
Oh, yeah.
So really excited just to watch that one.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful day of League of Legends here. Well, so that is going to be all for us here at the Great Lakes Esports Conference. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow it will be grand finals and lower finals. And I'm just really excited to see how it all turns out. So from all of us here at GLEC, thank you guys very much, and you have a good night.